So yeah, no, I think we spent the beginning of our Jan term coming back to virtual, right? We thought we would come back to in person, and we were all like, oh, I guess we're not coming back in person. And so our kids at the site were not ready to go virtual because they need to have the Chromebooks, they need to have headphones, they need all that stuff that we just didn't have time to prep. And like the kids don't have them anymore. Before, when the kids were virtual in school, they automatically had these tech devices and the headphones because they needed them anyway. Right now, when we came back, the kiddos were still in person at school and at the Boys and Girls Club. We were the virtual aspect. So we couldn't come back right at it. So we spent like the first 2.5 weeks just working us as like behind the scenes, doing whatever we could to get ready for virtual. So we spent that time developing activity ideas, reviving what you remember, Diana, the chill vibes room, the spill the tea room, interactive room, like that all has to come back right now. So we revamped, like we thought up a new calendar of activities and everything. And so you can make your own wheel too online. I love those things. So actually, if I can share screen, I can talk through it. There it is, ready. So just to help me talk and you can look at something besides me. So we are back to our chill vibes and everything, just like we used to be. And so that, right, was the chill vibes room is a space where they can be fully engaged, and it's very relaxed. It doesn't mean that you have to be talking. It's just music playing. Usually it's art, it's drawing. Spill the tea is a facilitation of a conversation on a specific topic. Interactive room is some type of guided activity where they're using their hands, they're creating something, they're making something. So we've brought those back right now for virtual just because we cannot run fifth dimension as traditionally we see it. Virtual, it's just too hard. There's not enough of us to do one-on-one with them. It's too many kiddos, it's attention, it's just hard because it's not tangible, all that good stuff. So we have a new set of plans. So for the week, so my students made all of this. So my college students did all of these planning things, but we spent the first 2 weeks kind of creating these documents and planning. So we had our week 1 on the 17th of January. Looking ahead, I'll break these 2 days because they have finals for their Jan term. But so there's chill vibes, spill the tea, and an interactive room down here. And everything's linked that they'll need. So, and all the stuff that they'll need for it. So we warn the kids ahead of time, the staff members, and then we describe what they'll be doing in the room. So ahead of time, these are all planned out, which is actually good. Back in the day when we were first virtual, they were kind of made week by week because we just didn't have the time. So these 2 weeks actually helped us a lot because we had time to plan ahead. So different of my undergrads, my WAs, withers assistants, kind of took turns and took different rooms. And so like on Monday, Chill Vibes is drawing a Penrose triangle. There's probably a link to a video, I'm sure, on YouTube that they'll watch together and they'll do together with the kids. So they'll do that kind of very like chill. Spill the tea, we'll do a meet and greet. Let's get to know each other because that's the first day that we're having our second site, Evergreen Elementary, join. We've just had Boys and Girls Club joining for now. And then Interactive is doing a word search. I guess a fifth dimension word search. I don't even know. They made one, I guess, on a website, and they're doing a fifth dimension word search together with the WA, I'm sure is sharing screen. So this is like what we spent the time doing, planning all of it out. And then every week has a theme. So paleontology is that first week in February. If you recall, last time we did the same thing. So now there's Friendship Week. Giselle has that one. She'll be in charge and responsible for running that activity on Tuesdays and Thursdays, respectively, with like the sites. There's Space Week. So all of that was also planned. So here is just the breakdown for it's like the big activity. So Paleontology Week, there's gonna be a coloring page specifically for Chill Vibes that my students made. And then that special activity where there's the link for the site, and you basically buy like little dinos, you can make imprints to talk about fossils and how they happen and all that fun stuff. And we provide all the materials. I'll be doing drop-offs to the sites in person so I can give them all the stuff they'll need. Friendship Week, reasons why I appreciate you. So they'll be doing a Pinterest design. I'm assuming it's probably like a heart or something, and they'll be doing little Valentines. Space Week, they will be making a nebula jar. That's cool. So all this stuff, again, is done by my undergrads. They look up stuff and then they put it in the calendar. And everyone signs up for a week. So like one person is responsible. They're responsible to be ready ahead of time, to know what the activity is, how to lead it. So there's that. And then
Kathy, can I just clarify one thing?
Yeah.
So the undergrads are all online and the kids are all at
Yes.
like there's one group at the Boys and Girls Club and you've been working with them. And then next week, both kids at the Boys and Girls Club that are at the Boys and Girls Club and kids from Evergreen Elementary who are at Evergreen Elementary will be joining. So they're effectively hybrid, right? With the
Yes.
undergrads virtual and the kids at their programs in their sites.
Yeah, so it would be like all of us here, right? We're all joining from our own respective homes or places, wherever we're at, our offices. We're all joining from home, but all the kids would be in this room with us and all the kids are in the same place. And like Mara said, it right now, it's just been from Boys and Girls Club and Clubhouse. Next week, it'll also be that second site from the school at the same time. And we break them down because they have different groups because they still have to stay in cohorts because of COVID. They can't mix and mingle the kids. So every hour we have 3-hour blocks, a 3-hour block. So every hour it's a new group of kiddos and we repeat the activities again.
And who's at the site supervising the kids?
So they have staff member at the site. So there'll be one person in the Zoom. It depends on the staff. They're supposed to, but they don't, not all the staff do it. They join the Zoom too, just to kind of be an ear inside and know what's going on in the Zoom. But they'll have a staff that's just like kind of wandering around, walking around, making sure the kiddos don't need help with headphones, or if we're having trouble hearing them, or they don't know how to log out, or like, especially the little babies, like, they won't know how to switch rooms. The staff's there to help with all of that.
Okay. And is it basically one kid at a computer or is it two kids at a computer or how?
It's one kid at a computer, unless I think sometimes depending on the computers, if they're not working, or I think some kids also just like joining together. We have had some kids double up. So we've had like their name will be like Alyssa and Allison or like things like that. So sometimes we'll have them on each 2-on-1, but that can get tricky just because the feedback from the audio, because they're all in the same room. It's just better if they have headphones. And that's actually, I'm dropping off some headphones today because they need some extra ones. So we had some funds to purchase again.
Thank you for that clarification.
These hybrid
situations, I think, get really tricky really fast. So those kind of details, I think, are helpful.
Yes.
Sorry, I saw Carla, you had your hand up too.
Yeah, I just want to say goodbye, everybody. I have to run.
Oh no.
Class on
to go to class. Like Thank you for staying, Carla.
Of course, and Whittier, OMG, like I want to come and visit in person. You guys are on it. It's so dope. So congratulations. I will see you all soon. Okay, bye.
Bye, Carla. Thank you.
Carla's coming back to Berkeley for in-person classes next week, so we'll be excited to see her.
Exciting.
Yeah.
It's coming back to normal. I love it. So these are all of our different things we've been planning. Just like before, if you remember, we have our little slides again about the kiddos to keep their cameras, like, all the little rules. We do this at the beginning of every session to help guide them. The chill vibes room, right there. This is for the one on Monday. So they prep the, we tell the kids, these are your options, pick one. And then at the end, depending which one they want, they hold up a 1, 2, or 3, and then we send them to that breakout room where the WAs are waiting, the college students. So we do like hold up 1 finger, or like if you want to do the pen rows and drawing, hold up 2 if you want to do the word search, or 3 if you want to do the meet and greet. And they can move rooms once they pick. So it's not like you pick and you're stuck there. It's like you pick, if you don't like it, you can move to a different room. And then if at any point you're kind of over it, you're tired, you don't really like any of them, you can log off. They don't have to stay on. Yes. Sure.
Oh, I was just wondering so the students are in the room and the undergrads are online, but the students are still working on like Chromebooks or something? They're not working. Okay.
Yeah, the Boys and Girls Club was able, they have like, I guess, a storage of them from when they were virtual, because they needed to, because they had the students were showing up there, right? So parents who had to work would drop off their kids all day to be at school at the Boys and Girls Club. So they pulled from that kind of what they have in their storage to be able to hand out the Chromebooks and iPads for them to work right now. Yeah, so the Boys and Girls Club's providing all of that.
So
do you meet them? Oh, sorry, Cheryl. Go ahead.
I was just going to follow up. Do they do anything live? Does kids do anything live while the undergrads are online? Do the kids act, it says draw pen rows and listen to music.
Yes.
Is that still a virtual? They're doing that on the Chromebook, or are they doing that physically?
So the drawing itself is physical.
Okay.
So the kids, Like right now, you'd all have your paper and markers. I would share screen right now, but it'd be the YouTube video of someone guiding us through the drawing.
Okay, so that's
And,
truly hybrid. I get it now. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and the
Wow.
undergrad is kind of there to help facilitate. So they'll pause and be like, does anyone need me to repeat it? Is everyone good? Are we all in the same step? And then some kids, depending on their age, right, they might be like, I need to watch it again, or I messed up, can I start over? And they'll kind of guide them through the video. And then at the end, you'll like hold it up and show everybody. Sometimes the drawing, it's like you draw the outline and then the video stops for you to draw in, color in whatever you want. So then that'll be the part where you listen to music of like, all right, everybody, you all have your outline. We're gonna play some music. Go ahead, start coloring, and we'll share in 5 minutes. And then it's just kind of this just music playing and everyone coloring and just chilling. The way it'll usually work is we would share screen, and then the undergrad, the WA would just facilitate kind of like taking turns almost. So like these are the words down here. I can try to find the website. It might even say on the, oh, it doesn't say on the doc. If I'll ask my students and I can share with you the website they use to make it. But it's basically you just fill in the words you want to find, and then it'll populate the word search. And then if you were to do like annotate, and you can have the kids do it. So it could be, you know, like John, like, do you want to try to find a word? How about sessions? Do you see sessions? And then John can annotate and like find sessions and highlight it or circle it or like put a star next to it. And that would be a way, right? So there you go. Oh yeah. Or Mara seems to have found something like, you know, wizard backwards. And, you know, how did you find it? What did you do to find it? What strategy did you use? You know, things like that. So that's how we would do the word search together. Yeah. So yes, it's a lot. And it is a lot of conversation. It is a lot of just, sometimes you spend the first 10, 15 minutes just even trying to get everything going, right? Because it's kids. So everyone's kind of unmuting and like, oh, I found 5. I already know everything. I found you know, and you're kind of just, okay, well, let's make sure everyone gets a turn. And it's a lot of, it's like in person, what you're trying to, right? It's the same thing in person where you're just trying to corral and make sense of the chaos. But now just virtually. And so it can be a little trickier because there's awkward pauses, there's bad internet, there's bad audio. But it's working around all of that. Like, you know, Tom, I can't really understand you. Can you put in the chat? Like, can you write in the chat what you were saying? Or like, Cheryl, can you help me? What did Tom just say? Like, because they're in the same room. So like, can you help me? What does Tom need something? Like, can you not hear me? And you'll see them talk to each other and they'll come back to you and be like, yeah, so Tom said he can't hear you. And, you know, it's having trouble. So it's a lot of, yeah, it's a new way of learning how to interact with kids. It's wild. In a way, it's easier this time around because we've done it already. But yeah. So let me clear out all the stuff here.
This is really great. This is really helpful.
Yeah, of course. And then, so then that's our virtual stuff. So like, yeah, they would pick the different room. We're actually right now revamping the Dragon's Code. If you remember the Dragon's Code, there's 3 components. There's always be kind and compassionate towards one another. When there is kindness, there is goodness. Where there is goodness, there is magic. The second part is use your wings. The 5th dimension is all about choices, the choice where you choose to be and the choice where you choose not to be, right? Because they don't have to be in any room. They don't have to join in when they get frustrated, right? Where they're like bored or they don't like it. And then the last one of take ownership of the 5th dimension. This is a place to express your ideas, and creativity is magic. And magic only happens if you are free to release it. So we had it all on one slide, and we would have the kids take turns like volunteering to read it. But the team just brought up, oh, it looked like this. The team just brought up a point of, you know, they felt the kids. I love that part. So we had a conversation because we do this every day. There was a conversation that got brought up of like, is it worth doing every day? Is that kind of overkill? Should we break it up like one every day where they give more examples? Is it, you know, things like that. So the compromise, or what the students, what my undergrads agreed upon after talking about it, was having a slide for each one so that doesn't look so overwhelming, and then being able to talk about them. So how can we express kindness and compassion while being over Zoom? Have you seen or expressed kindness or compassion yet? Share a moment with us. So kind of breaking it down and make it a bit more conversational and meaningful rather than just let's read it, all right, let's ignore it, we'll move on, which I guess my team felt that's what it was happening, that's what it was becoming. And then, sorry, I kind of say I didn't mean to save it for last, but the restorative wheels. So if you remember, the restorative wheel was different activities that had to do with like social emotional well-being and reflection. So we had those in person. We're not currently right now doing restorative wheel. We just haven't gotten to it. Like we've been so busy just getting started and like going. We were talking about it though. We have our team retreat this weekend. So they requested to talk about it because they want to bring it in virtually somehow. But on the left side, so I had two undergrads take like ownership of it because there was talk about bringing in new ideas because some of the kids were getting bored of the old ones from doing it for a whole semester. And some of the ones that we had imagined, right? Like as always, we think they're going to be great and productive, but then it wasn't so much for the kiddos. They're like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, what's the point of this? So we wanted to go over them, the past ones, and get rid of anything that we saw they weren't really using, revamp any ones that we thought could be better, things like that. And then we added new ones. So I'll just pick a couple. Pandemic talk. So the purpose is to talk about what we have learned during the pandemic. This can be a skill we have learned, a life lesson, or a time to reflect back on appreciating things. And you can use the whiteboard or just talk. Cut the ties. Have the citizens, which are the kids, write down their negative emotions, feelings, things that happened on the already cut quarter sheets of paper. Have them fold the paper up, and one at a time, we will take turns walking to the trash can and cutting their paper to release their negative ties. Grateful. To talk about something we are grateful for during these times, the kids must be reminded that they are grateful for something, right? So like focusing on a grateful practice. So every single one of these like activities would be on the part of the wheel. The wheel would get spun. It's a physical wheel that we have. Thanks to one of our undergrads' dads who made it for an event we had. We're reusing it. You spin the wheel and it would land on an activity, and then that activity would be done. And then it would be spun again, and you do the next one and the next one and the next one. And kids at any point could stop doing the wheel and go, we have other activities happening on the other half of the room in person. If they get over it, they can go switch to something else. Kids who are doing the other stuff, if they want to come in to do the wheel, they can jump in at any time. And I just remember, I'll reshare some of these links. I know I usually do that. I'll like make some copies that are view only so that you don't have to worry about accidentally doing anything to them. And I can share all of these in a Google folder if anyone wants to look at them more closely or read through them.